stop. Before you take another sip of whatever's in your glass right now, you need to hear this. Are you over 60 and find yourself a prisoner in your own home, constantly planning every outing around the next bathroom break? Do you wake up exhausted every single night, standing over the toilet at 2 in the morning with nothing but a weak, frustrating stream that seems to take forever? You're doing everything right, or so you think. You're taking the pills your doctor prescribed, you're trying to eat healthy, you're following all the advice. So why on earth is it getting worse instead of better? Here's the truth, that 94% of American men over 65 have never been told by their doctors. The very liquid sitting in your glass right now, something you might even believe is healthy, could be the number one thing inflaming your prostate and absolutely ruining your quality of life. As a men's health specialist who has worked with over 3,000 patients dealing with benign prostatic hyperplasia, I see intelligent, health-conscious men making this exact same devastating mistake every single day. They are unknowingly aggravating their BPH, and they don't even realize it. They are literally pouring gasoline on a fire and wondering why the flames keep getting higher. This is not just another health video you can watch later. This is an emergency briefing for your quality of life. No fluff, no filler, no complicated medical jargon. You need a dictionary to understand. But before we begin, I want to know something from you. Where are you watching this video from and what time is it right now? Please share in the comments. I read every message and it helps me feel connected to you. And if you find this helpful, do press the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. That way, you'll never miss another health tip made specially for elders like you. First, I'm going to reveal the 5 absolute worst drinks that are creating a living nightmare for your prostate. You must know what these are because chances are extremely high that you're consuming at least 2 or 3 of them every single day. Then, and this is where your life transforms, I will give you the 5 best drinks that medical research has proven can soothe inflammation, protect your cells from damage, and help you reclaim the freedom and dignity you thought you had lost forever. Let's get started right now because every day you wait is another day of unnecessary suffering. We're going to begin with the drinks you must eliminate, or at least drastically reduce, starting today. And I mean today, not next week, when you finish that case in the garage. Number 5 on our list is alcohol, and especially beer. That relaxing evening beer after a long day. It feels like a well-earned reward, doesn't it? A moment of peace, a way to unwind, maybe while watching the game or sitting on the porch. But you absolutely need to know what it really is doing to your body. It's a trap, and it's one of the cruelest traps because it feels so good going down. The second that alcohol hits your system, it screams at your kidneys to produce more urine, and fast. This is not a gradual process. For a man with an enlarged prostate that's already squeezing your urethra like a vice, this massive surge of urine is like pouring fuel directly on a raging fire. It creates immediate, unbearable urgency that can hit you out of nowhere. But here's the hidden dagger that most men never learn about. Beer is especially poisonous for your prostate health, and it's not just about the volume of liquid you're consuming. It's the hops. Those hops that give beer its distinctive flavor are absolutely loaded with phytoestrogens. These are plant-based compounds that can interfere with your male hormones and directly aggravate prostate swelling. Think about that for a moment. You're drinking something that's literally working against your testosterone and promoting the exact swelling that's causing all your problems. And it gets even worse. Alcohol is a direct irritant to your entire urinary system. It physically inflames the sensitive lining of your bladder and urethra. Every time you drink, it's like rubbing coarse sandpaper on an open wound. You wouldn't do that to a cut on your hand, so why are you doing it to your bladder? Now, let's talk about timing, because this is the critical mistake that's stealing your sleep. Drinking any amount of alcohol within 3 to 4 hours of your bedtime is not just a risk of waking up multiple times. It is an absolute guarantee. You are literally scheduling your own sleep disruption, programming your body to wake you up right when you've finally fallen into deep, restorative sleep. if you absolutely must have a drink, and I understand that social situations and personal enjoyment matter, then keep it far, far away from the evening hours. Have it at lunch if you must, but protect your sleep at all costs. Number 4 is caffeinated drinks, and I'm talking about your morning coffee ritual. But, doctor, I can hear you saying right now, I can't possibly function without my morning coffee. I need it just to feel human. Listen very carefully to what you just said. You can't function. You're exhausted when you wake up. Why are you so exhausted? Because you're waking up every 90 minutes to 2 hours all night long to urinate. Your sleep is being shattered into fragments. So you drink coffee to feel like you can face the day. But the caffeine in that coffee is the very thing ensuring you'll be up all night again tonight. It is a vicious, self-destructive cycle that feeds on itself, getting worse with every passing month. Here's the secret that the coffee industry definitely doesn't want you to know. Caffeine doesn't just wake up your brain. It sends your bladder into an absolute state of panic. It's both a powerful diuretic, forcing your kidneys to produce more urine, and a muscle stimulant that makes your bladder contract involuntarily. It forces your bladder to spasm and contract, giving you that urgent gotta go right now feeling, even when your bladder's barely half full. You know that feeling. You're in the middle of something important and suddenly, you can't think about anything else except getting to a bathroom immediately. But here's the real kicker that makes me want to shake some sense into every man I meet. That alpha blocker medication your urologist prescribed, you know the one, the pill that's designed to relax the smooth muscle tissue in your prostate to help urine flow better. That cup of coffee you're drinking every morning is literally telling that exact same muscle to tense right back up. You are actively fighting your own medication. You're spending money on prescriptions and then canceling out your own treatment with every single sip of coffee. It's medical and financial insanity. The rule is simple, and this is absolutely non-negotiable if you want to see improvement. No caffeine whatsoever after 12 noon, period. Not 12:30, not 1 o'clock, because you had a late lunch. 12 noon is your cutoff time. This gives your body a real fighting chance to metabolize and eliminate the caffeine from your system before you try to sleep. Caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours, which means that coffee you drank at 3 in the afternoon is still actively working in your system at 9 at night when you're trying to wind down. Number 3 on our list is sugary sodas and sweetened juices. And I need you to understand something critical here. This is not really a drink. This is a liquid inflammatory bomb that you're voluntarily detonating inside your body. You already know that soda is terrible for your waistline. Everyone knows that. But that's not the urgent problem we need to talk about right now. The real problem is inflammation. BPH, chronic prostatitis, these are fundamentally diseases of fire. Chronic inflammation is the enemy that's destroying your quality of life. When you drink a can of soda, or even what you think is a healthy glass of apple juice from the supermarket, you are flooding your bloodstream with sugar. This massive sugar spike feeds the inflammatory fire throughout your entire body. And where does that fire rage the absolute hottest? Right in your prostate gland. With every sweet sip you take, you're making that gland swell up even more, squeezing down on the urethra even tighter, like a vice grip, and making your urinary stream weaker and more frustrating. And that belly fat you've been gradually accumulating over the years, that's not just inactive storage sitting there doing nothing. That visceral fat deep in your abdomen is an active hormone factory, pumping out its own inflammatory chemicals 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All of it aimed directly at your prostate like guided missiles. You think you're just having a refreshing drink on a hot day? You are actively, measurably worsening your condition with every swallow. You're paying for 60 seconds of sweetness with 8 hours of nighttime misery, getting up to urinate over and over again. Number 2 is energy drinks. And if regular soda is a bomb, then this is the nuclear option. This is, without any question or exaggeration, a direct chemical assault on your entire urinary tract system. This isn't giving you a boost. It's a combination of literally the worst parts of all the other drinks we've discussed, concentrated into one can. First, the caffeine content. We're not talking about the 90 milligrams you get in a cup of coffee. We're talking about 200, 300, sometimes even more milligrams. It's like hooking your poor bladder up to a car battery and sending electric shocks through it, guaranteeing constant, painful, irritated spasms throughout the day. Second, the sugar content is astronomical, off the charts. It's pure, concentrated, liquid inflammation being mainlined directly into your bloodstream, like an intravenous drip. Third, there's the chemical blend of ingredients that have no business being in your body. The taurine, the guarana, the artificial sweeteners, if it's a sugar-free version, the food dyes, the preservatives. Every single one of these acts as a further irritant to a urinary system that is already screaming for relief. There is zero health benefit to drinking these. There is no possible medical justification I can give you. For a man over 60 dealing with BPH, this is not just a bad choice or something to limit. It is literal poison for your prostate. It's a guaranteed ticket to an entire day of absolute misery, constantly scouting for the location of the next restroom, like a desperate man planning an escape route. I have had patients tell me they can't go to their grandson's baseball game because they drank an energy drink that morning. Think about what you're giving up. And now we come to number one, the most shocking revelation on this entire list. Whole milk and high-fat dairy products. This is the one that absolutely shocks most of the men I counsel. This is the so-called healthy habit that has been quietly betraying you for decades, possibly since childhood. The connection between dairy and prostate problems isn't immediate and obvious like coffee. It's slower, more insidious, and that's what makes it so dangerous. Large-scale epidemiological studies conducted across multiple countries are absolutely clear on this point. High consumption of whole milk is statistically linked to a significantly higher risk of aggressive prostate issues and complications. The problem is actually twofold. First, there's the saturated fat content, which directly fuels systemic inflammation throughout your body. But second, and this is far more terrifying when you really think about it, are the hormones naturally present in milk. Let me explain something that the dairy industry definitely does not want you thinking about. Milk is designed by nature to do exactly one thing. It's designed to make a baby calf weighing 80 pounds at birth grow into a 1,000-pound bull as fast as biologically possible. To accomplish this, milk is packed with powerful growth factors, especially something called IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1. Now, I want you to ask yourself a very serious question. As a man over 60 with a prostate gland that is already growing out of control, expanding and squeezing your urethra, and ruining your sleep, do you really want to be drinking a powerful biological growth hormone every single day? Every time you pour yourself a glass of whole milk, you are sending a direct signal to your prostate cells. You are telling them to grow, grow, grow. You're feeding the exact problem you're desperately trying to solve. The good news, and there is some good news here, is that the link between dairy and prostate problems is strongest with high-fat milk and cheese. Fermented dairy products, which we're going to discuss in just a few minutes, are actually a completely different story with completely different effects. But that daily glass of whole milk you've been drinking your entire adult life thinking it's building strong bones, it's a risk you simply cannot afford to take anymore. Okay, stop right here for just a moment. Take a breath. We've been through the fire together. You're feeling the weight of this information? You've probably recognized yourself in multiple descriptions. You might even be feeling angry or betrayed right now. Good. That anger is justified and it means you're paying attention. But anger without action is completely useless. It's just wasted emotional energy that changes nothing. You are at the halfway point of this video. Now I need to be brutally honest with you. Most people, probably 70% of the men watching right now, will click away at this exact moment. They've heard the bad news, the scary warnings, and they think they already know what the good news is. They'll go grab a glass of water from the kitchen tap and think they've solved everything. They are completely wrong, and they will continue suffering. The next 5 drinks I'm about to reveal are not just better options or healthier alternatives. These are weapons in your fight against BPH. These are the antidote to years of damage. If you leave right now, you've only learned how to identify your enemies. You haven't learned how to defeat them. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes, and I will teach you exactly how to fight back and win. Let's get to the good stuff, the solutions, the healing, the hope. Number 5 is pure, clean water. I can see you rolling your eyes right now. It sounds way too simple. It sounds boring and obvious. But water is actually the single most powerful tool you have for prostate health. And this is critical, if you use it correctly. And I can tell you from 3 decades of clinical experience that 99% of men with BPH are using water completely wrong. Here's the problem and the solution. When you don't drink enough water throughout the day, you get progressively dehydrated. Your urine becomes dark, concentrated, and highly acidic. That concentrated urine is like battery acid washing over your already inflamed, sensitive prostate tissue. It burns, it irritates, it makes everything worse. The solution is dilution. You want your urine to be a pale yellow color, mild, calm, and non-irritating. But you can't just chug a huge glass of water all at once. Chugging water, especially in the evening hours, is an absolute disaster for your bladder. You're just overwhelming your system and drowning your bladder with more volume than it can comfortably handle. Here's your new rule, and I want you to write this down or memorize it right now. I call it the Prostate-Friendly Hydration Plan. You sip water slowly and consistently all day long. Keep a bottle with you constantly. Small sips, taken regularly, every 15 or 20 minutes. And here's the life-changing part that gives men back their sleep. The hydration curfew. You must stop drinking all liquids, not just water, but everything, 2 to 3 hours before your head hits the pillow at night. This gives your body adequate time to process the fluid and completely empty your bladder before you try to sleep. This one simple free trick, and I'm not exaggerating even slightly, might give you your first full uninterrupted night of sleep in a decade. Imagine waking up actually rested for the first time in years. Number 4 is green tea. And wait, I can hear you shouting at your screen right now. Hold on, doctor. You just spent 10 minutes absolutely destroying caffeinated drinks and tearing apart coffee. What's going on here? No, listen carefully. I destroyed highly caffeinated black coffee and black tea. Green tea is a fundamentally different animal with completely different effects on your body. This isn't just a beverage. This is medicine that's been used for thousands of years. Yes, green tea does contain some caffeine, I'm not going to lie to you, but it contains a much smaller amount than coffee, and more importantly, it is absolutely loaded with something infinitely more powerful for your prostate health. It contains antioxidants called catechins, and specifically one called EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate. I want you to think of EGCG as an army of microscopic firefighters rushing through your bloodstream. It hunts down inflammation wherever it finds it in your prostate tissue and actively puts out that fire. Multiple peer-reviewed studies have shown that the regular consumption of green tea can significantly reduce prostate inflammation markers in the blood. By making one simple swap, switching your morning coffee for a cup or 2 of green tea, you're accomplishing 2 incredibly important things simultaneously. You're removing the high caffeine irritant that's been sabotaging your bladder control, and you're replacing it with a powerful, healing, anti-inflammatory compound. You're subtracting the problem and adding the solution in one simple action. The timing is important here. Drink 1 or 2 cups of green tea in the morning only, before noon. Don't drink it in the afternoon or evening because even that small amount of caffeine can interfere with your sleep if consumed too late. And here's a pro tip. Let the water cool just slightly after boiling before you pour it over the tea bag. Water that's too hot can actually destroy some of those beneficial catechins. Number 3 is tomato juice. And this is one of the very few times in all of nutrition science where processed is actually significantly better than raw. The powerful weapon here is called Lycopene. It's the antioxidant compound that makes tomatoes that beautiful red color. Lycopene acts like a protective shield for your prostate cells. Medical research has shown that it physically accumulates in prostate tissue and protects your cells from oxidative damage and inflammation. But here's the catch that most people miss. In a raw tomato sitting on your counter, that lycopene is locked away inside the plant cells, mostly unavailable to your body. The magic happens when you cook and process tomatoes. The heat and processing break down the tough cell walls and unleash the lycopene, making it much more bioavailable for absorption. So tomato juice, tomato paste, or tomato sauce is actually significantly more potent for your prostate health than eating a raw tomato in a salad. Now, here's how you make it work even better. Lycopene is what we call fat-soluble, which means it needs to be consumed with some dietary fat to be properly absorbed through your intestinal wall. Drink your tomato juice with your breakfast that includes some avocado slices. Have it alongside a small handful of nuts. That healthy fat is the key that unlocks the door and allows the lycopene to get absorbed into your bloodstream where it can do its protective work. One important warning. Make sure you buy the low sodium or no salt added version of tomato juice. You're not trying to trade a prostate problem for a blood pressure problem or cardiovascular issues. Read the labels carefully and avoid the versions loaded with salt. Number 2 is pure pomegranate juice. If tomato juice is your shield providing protection, then pomegranate juice is your sword actively fighting back. This is not just another healthy fruit juice. This is a serious therapeutic drink that's been studied extensively in clinical research. The research here is actually shocking when you look at the studies. Pomegranate juice is loaded with unique antioxidants that have been shown in multiple clinical trials to slow down the rate of PSA rise in men with prostate issues. Let me say that again because it's so important. It has been scientifically shown to slow down PSA, which is a key biomarker of prostate inflammation and activity. It works by dramatically reducing oxidative stress and calming the inflammatory storm that's raging inside your prostate tissue. Some studies have shown that men who drink pomegranate juice daily can significantly extend their PSA doubling time, which is a critical measurement doctors use. The timing matters here. This is a morning or early afternoon drink, not an evening beverage. While it's incredibly healthy, it does contain natural fruit sugars, so you want to drink it when you are active and your body can use that energy, not right before bed when you're about to be sedentary for 8 hours. The warning here is critical. You must get 100% pure pomegranate juice, not the juice cocktail garbage that's mostly apple juice and corn syrup with a little pomegranate flavor added. Not the blend. Read the ingredient label. It should say one thing only: pomegranate juice. This is a weapon for your health. Treat it with the respect and seriousness it deserves. And now we come to number 1, the most powerful drink on this entire list: Kefir and probiotic drinks. Now, you're probably really confused and thinking I've lost my mind. Wait a minute, doctor. You just told me that milk is the number 1 worst drink, and now you're saying fermented milk is the number 1 best. How is that even possible? Listen very closely, because this is the one critical connection that 99% of men will never make on their own. Scientists call it the gut-prostate axis. This is cutting-edge medical research that's revolutionizing how we understand prostate health. Whole milk is absolutely the problem. Fermented milk is the cure. The fermentation process fundamentally transforms the milk. It eats up and converts the problematic sugars, and it creates billions upon billions of beneficial bacteria called probiotics. Here's the truth that will change everything for you. Your gut is on fire with inflammation. An unhealthy gut that's full of bad bacteria and yeast doesn't just cause digestive problems. It radiates chronic inflammation throughout your entire body like a broadcasting tower, and that inflammation settles right into your prostate gland. Your gut health and your prostate health are inseparably connected. Kefir is like drinking an army of good bacteria. It's a probiotic army that marches into your digestive system, kills the harmful bacteria, repairs your damaged gut lining, and calms the inflammatory fire at its source. You're not just healing your digestion or improving your bowel movements, you are healing your prostate from 30 feet away by fixing the root cause. It is the single most powerful long-term strategy for sustainable prostate health that exists. The timing is important. Drink kefir in the morning on a relatively empty stomach, maybe 30 minutes before breakfast. This sends that probiotic army in before the day's battle with food begins, giving them the best chance to colonize your gut. Start with a small amount, maybe 4 ounces, and gradually increase as your body adapts. You've made it all the way to the end, and that puts you in the top 10% of men who actually take their health seriously enough to learn. Now you know the truth that your doctor probably never explained. The choice is no longer hidden in medical jargon or buried in research papers. It's crystal clear and sitting right in front of you. In your left hand is a glass of beer, soda, coffee, or whole milk. That glass represents another night of misery. It's urgency and frequency. It's frustration and embarrassment. It's a weak, dribbling stream. It's chronic inflammation slowly destroying your quality of life. In your right hand is a glass of green tea, tomato juice, kefir, or pure water consumed correctly. That glass represents taking control back. It's a full night of uninterrupted sleep. It's a strong, confident stream. It's genuine healing at the cellular level. This is not just information to file away for someday. This is your action plan for a new life starting tomorrow morning. Which glass are you going to choose? I'll tell you what I tell every patient. You can't change the past decades of damage, but you can absolutely change what happens next. Your body has a remarkable ability to heal when you finally give it the tools it needs and stop poisoning it with the wrong drinks. If this video has touched your heart in any way, let me know by clicking the like button, sharing it with someone you care about, or typing one in the comments. And if you wish to continue walking this path with me, exploring health, healing, and deeper living in your golden years, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell icon. Every week, I will be right here with you, reminding all of us that we are still alive,